NC State will kick off, and that'll get things underway. Here he comes with the return. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So Washington's offense will start this game off. And they were in the market for a guy to make an impact on the ground, and they found him in this transfer, guys.
This was an offense that needs explosive play, so bring this dude in at the running back position and let him go. I can't wait to see what he's able to do today.
Man, let's see if he can earn the respect of his teammates. You know, you've done this and you have experience elsewhere. Now you get to do it for your squad, for your new team, all the hype. Let's see what he's got.
Runs through a tackle. That's a nice pickup to give them some breathing room, and they've got it out to the 27.
Man, coaches talked about they want to get this running back involved early and often and create some momentum, and this is a great way to do it. Early in this football game, ripping off an explosive run, get the juices going, and I bet you he's going to get a few more touches today.
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. Let's talk for just a second about Washington. One of the big storylines coming into this year was the rising temperature of the coach's seat, and the process of cooling things off starts now.
All offseason, this coach has said the right things. I'm not worried about it. I'm not focused on it. I'm just worried about our team. But David, let's be real. He's got to win games. There is an expectation at this program to win, and if he doesn't start fast this year, that hot seat's only going to get hot.
No, and then the chirping starts, and everybody's going to be talking about his job. The pressure builds, and then what happens? Sometimes you lose the locker room. So important to get off to a good start. Try to quiet some of those haters and some of those doubters.
Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. So now it's 2nd and long. Motion from the wideout. Looking to throw, it's Mack. Grabs over the middle, it's Wilson. Makes the tackle at the 46, but it's a 15-yard gain to get them into plus territory. He unleashed that one, some serious spin rates, some revolutions on that one.
You want to talk about velocity? How about the arm talent this kid has? I love watching him throw these curl routes. He's
breaks into the open. He get it down to the 35 before he stopped. 10-yard pickup on the play, and it's a first down. Washington has it and a fresh set of downs. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. All right, guys, let's chat for just a moment about Washington. Everybody uses the portal to varying degrees. Sometimes you just fill the exact right hole that you want. And this team, as they start this season, not a ton of new faces here, Jesse.
They didn't, but I don't think it's because there was a lack of effort on the part of the coaches, David. I think they believe they've got the roster in place now to have success.
Yeah, because when you bring people in, a lot of times you tick people off on your own roster. So when you only bring a few in, you cherry-pick some elite talent and some real concerns that you have, sometimes it just
continues to fight for yards. He's got 42 yards rushing for him now. What a drive to kick off the new season. The Huskies had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. Red pass hits complete. Got some room into the goal line. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Huskies. They draw first blood, and that is exactly what you want to open the season with a drive like that.
You love as a head coach to watch your offense take the field and establish a rhythm and consistency the way they did there. Everything they dialed up was working to perfection. They go 10 plays on the opening drive and cap it off with a touchdown.
Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So the NC State Wolfpack comes out, and they'll have the ball for the first time. And guys, defenses have been trying to figure out for years how to keep this guy from getting open, and they just can't seem to solve the riddle.
No, this guy has experience. He's been in the big moments, and it's so nice to have a guy that's been in your system, in your scheme. He knows the in and outs. You can move him all over the field. You can't place a premium high enough on a guy that knows the system inside and out.
You're right, and tell you, it was a great day for this offense when he decided to come back for a senior year, too. There were a lot of people that thought he might declare for the NFL. They weren't sure if they were going to lose him to the portal or not. He decided to come back. He believes this offense can do something special, and if they're going to do that, he's obviously going to have a big year.
Wilson will throw. Got his man in the middle. Really nice job to get it past the sticks, pick up the first down at the 30. This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
I mean, you just can't teach and coach big D tackles to be that quick. I mean, he shot right out of his stance, beat the offensive lineman, and he was in the backfield before the O-line even knew it.
Fires to the big fella. And not much doing there as that defense runs him out of bounds. You can feel and hear the purple rain all the way across Lake Washington. Third down coming. Trying to make magic on the scramble. He gets the job done, picking up the first down, then getting down.
And that's the problem, man. You want to heat this guy up. You want to bring some pressure, but you see the other side of that coin. You bring pressure, he sees it, he can run, get the first down. This defense, it's kind of a pick your poison. Too soft, too laid back, he runs it and takes off. Too much pressure, he can run it and run away from guys and take off. So, nice third down conversion by the quarterback.
And with that stop, we are headed toward the end of the first quarter. That's the end of the quarter, and Washington has the lead. And we've come to the end of the first as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with second down. Wants to go up top. Buys a little time. Trying to make magic with his feet. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
Well, it's no wonder this quarterback is getting more and more confident. Not necessarily throwing it, but I think running it. We saw that earlier in this drive, too. On that last play, he's thinking to himself, man, it's been working for me so far. Every time I just tuck it, take off scrambling, something good seems to happen. So that's not going to stop. And I think moving forward, this defense has got to expect him to scramble more often.
They'll run it out of the shotgun. Able to squeeze out a couple on the play. It's down at the 35. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. The play action fake. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Well, no secret, this guy was a big part of their key to success. Already 2 catches on the opening drive, and they go back to him again. This time the defense is in better position, and they force the incompletion.
NC State has work to do to convert this third down. Wilson to pass. Caught over the middle. It's Green. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening. First and goal from the 9.
And that is a huge conversion on third and long for the offense. I think a lot of people thinking, hey, we're just going to try to get a couple yards, help our kicker out here to kick a field goal. But instead, they get a massive play, and now all of a sudden they're thinking touchdown here, first and goal.
He fights his way forward, gets away from one, but not much doing on that one. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. A third and goal, and this defense feeling energy from the crowd. Rushes on him. It's incomplete, and this ought to be a boost of confidence for this defense, getting a stop against these guys on third down. And on fourth down, they'll try to salvage the drive with a field goal. This whole place going to see if this kicker can operate in a sea of noise. That'll bring him to within 4. After putting up the field goal, they're set to kick it away.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. They got off to a flying start, a touchdown on that opening drive, and now an opportunity to build on this lead. Takes the handoff. It's Hill. Can't get him to the ground. Out across the 20 to the 21-yard line, a 3-yard gain.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. Well, it's first down, and the defense thinks you might be running the football. You still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
Jet sweep headed to the edge. Stopped in the backfield, and that'll be a loss of 2.
Well, this defense knew coming into the game they were going to see some of these jet sweeps, and they were ready that time. Great job communicating before the snap. Everybody had their eyes in the right place, and they're able to tackle the receiver for a loss.
Got his man downfield. Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling. They're out to the 35. Washington coming to the line with another first down. Looking to throw, it's Mack. Dumps it to the back. And they're not on the same page there.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Complete in the middle. He gets it to the 31-yard line. A big play for this offense.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. And they'll line up from the 31 on first down. He'll pull it on the read. Hard running there. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
Illegal blocking back. Offense.
He'll start this drive firing. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. He's knocked out of bounds, but not before he gets into the 25.
And that's a missed opportunity by the defense, because if this quarterback is going to decide to run the ball, you have got to make him pay. You at least have to hit him and put him on the ground. I know they didn't give up a big, long, explosive run, but you got to get shots on this guy when you can. That time, they let him get out of bounds.
There he goes. They finally make the stop, and it's been this way this guy's whole career as a senior. Makes a play after the grab. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. That big play is just what they needed. Now they have it 1st and 10 just outside the 40. Might be changing the route. Wilson will throw. Unloads to the right. He's got it. And this offense is feeling it as they rip off a big chunk of yardage, and they've got it on the 22. Would they go for a big play on 1st and 10? Wants to throw on first down. Picked off to stop the threat. Takes it the other way. The 40. He's at the 20. And it's going to be a pick six. Touchdown, Washington. Effective offense has led the way, but a most effective defensive play there.
No doubt, putting separation now. This game's starting to get out of hand. Defense making plays like this. Offense continuing to score points. Hey, defense wins championships and apparently scores points.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 14-3. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. War Eagle. Auburn is putting on a show offensively. They just simply can't be stopped.
Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. Going right to work up top. Grab behind the line. It's Scott. Backed up now. Here's second and long. Back to throw. Time running short in the half. Grabbed in the middle. It's Jones. Brought down at the 31. It is a first down. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line. Oh, they're after him. And he couldn't get rid of the football. Tried to buy a little time and then finally just said, let's run another play.
And I think when you got that kind of wheels and you got that kind of speed at the quarterback spot, you can get at anything. And a lot of times he makes big plays. Nice job by the defense. Not giving up, keep chasing, and they get the huge sack on that play.
Pocket breaking down. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. On third and long, no secret what he needs here. Got it in the middle. It's Scott. They stop him short of the sticks, and it'll be fourth down. The defense calls the timeout. They're second of the day as they try to get their act together. Wolfpack will line up to punt it away. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. He will not make a fair catch. Field the punt and bring it back. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. This drive will get underway from just inside the 35 at their own 34. Back to pass, it's Mack. Going over the top. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't hook up.
Well, the offense is doing their best to try and at least get into field goal range here at the end of the first half. So they take a vertical shot down the field, but give the defense credit. Lots of eyes back there on the quarterback. They're able to break on the ball and make sure that throw falls incomplete.
It's incomplete and maybe a little too aggressive from this senior trying to fit that one in there.
That's one thing about this defense. They've got some dudes in the back end that can cover, and they can hang with some of these intended targets. Nice job swatting that one away.
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. He'll pull it down and run. And he gets it just beyond the line of scrimmage before he gets down. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. They punt it away on fourth down. He'll take it on the return. They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. Washington about to boot it deep to start things in the second half. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. North Carolina State has it back on the offense, headed to the field. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments, but they've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in the second half.
I do think you said something that's important. I think running the football is an attitude. Like, it starts with the offensive lineman and being physical, having a nasty attitude. Running back, same thing. I think they need more of that in the second half.
You know, and I think if you're this defense, you have an opportunity to make a statement here.
Going for it all. Makes the catch at the 20. That is exactly what you want to do with the football. He's got it all the way down to the 15-yard line. They say it's still a game of field position, and that last one just flipped this baby. They've got it 1st and 10 in the red zone. Buying some time. Makes the grab. And he'll run out of bounds just short of the goal line. Wanted to get it in, but couldn't quite get home.
Well, it looks to me like the offense made some adjustments.
And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. After taking another look just to confirm everything, the officials on the field got it right. Play will stand. They've really got this offense humming. Just the fourth play of the drive, and it's first and goal. Barrels ahead.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, North Carolina State. Two-point conversion attempt is on the way. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
Coming out with it, it's Blow. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. They're still holding the lead, but hoping to flex a little muscle on this drive. They'll leave it with him. And that ball's on the ground behind the line. And the defense got it. Touchdown, Wolfpack. The defense takes matters into its own hands.
And how about this defense making plays? Not only do you force the fumble, the awareness to scoop it up. Understand the difference between trying to jump on it, but pick it up and make a play. They make a play. In this offense, they have not put together a lot of scoring drives, and now they give up points on the other end. They got to get it together.
Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. These guys just took a punch. Now we'll see if they can deliver one, Jesse.
Yeah, it's turning into a bit of a dogfight here in the second half all of a sudden. So let's see what this offense has. Let's see who can step up here and make a play.
And I'm not concerned about the other offense. Just do you. Do what you've done to...
And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys into coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
Grabbed in the backfield, it's Harris. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
This is no surprise to defenses anymore. Everybody throws wide receiver screens, and you could tell they were ready for it. They saw the quick game. They pounced on it, got the wide receiver on the ground. That's not the first time they've seen that.
Turning it on! And an explosive play has him on the move, and he gets it all the way to the 48-yard line.
And the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
Dropping back, it's Mack. The quick out. And a big hit at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the first down. Part of the DNA of the Washington offense has been a guy who can get it done with his arm.
And just finding a guy that makes everybody around you better, that can make the right decisions, that can highlight your skill positions. That's what get the Washington fans going crazy, going nuts, and that's when they have those great football teams.
Throwing right. He's got an open man. Touchdown, Huskies! And that one will put him up here in the second half. That is what we call in the industry a defensive breakdown. That guy was loose for the big play.
Busted coverage, really, really bad execution. Somebody slips, somebody falls. Nothing about that defensively is something you're looking for, but the offense will take it and get the easy touchdown.
He'll start the return inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. NC State sending the offense back onto the field. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. He'll do it himself. He breaks a tackle. That may not look like a huge run, but they'll take it as it gets him up to the 24. They'll go to work on second down after doing damage on the ground. Back to pass. Quarterback floating away from pressure. Snagged out of the air. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. Can you even imagine trying to operate in the midst of this purple rain on third down? And it's incomplete.
Defense did a great job. 3rd and short on the opponent's side of the field. They're expecting quick throw. Everybody, they dug their heel on the ground. They're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
Looks as if NC State will have to punt it away. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. Catches it at the 30. Tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. The give on the option. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. They'll move the wide receiver. Looking downfield, it's Mack. Fires left. And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there. It would have been a high-level play, but it's a play this quarterback expects to be able to make when he has a guy open.
And these quarterbacks start practicing and doing 7-on-7 and having quarterback coaches when they're like 7 years old, 8 now.
Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. The Huskies will be forced to boot it away. Second time today they've been forced to punt. They'll put that return to a stop at the 33, but the offense set up in pretty good field position. Decent field position to start this drive from their own 33. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Just couldn't quite stay in bounds while making that grab. It's incomplete.
Bad news on that play, it's an incompletion. The good news is the quarterback knew if his guy wasn't going to catch it, nobody was with that ball landing on the bounds.
Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Going to try to get it himself. At midfield, he's got room. Shoved out of bounds after a big gain. They'll mark it at the plus 42. Now on first down from the 43. Trying play action. Just a short pass to the tight end. Slicing and dicing through this defense, and they've got it down to the 23. NC State quick to the line. There's no need to panic or anything, but this would be a really opportune time to put something together and try to take control of this game.
And sometimes you just come out as the favorite, and you're a little bit flat, and you expect to win. And sometimes that leads to slow starts, but I think if they can get that passion, that adrenaline, they get a little fired up right here, I think they'll take care of business.
And they just got to make a play. They just got to get something positive to happen here, sort of wake them up, and then put another play back-to-back, and all of a sudden they get that momentum going. We know they've got the dudes. They've got the studs on both sides of the ball to win this football game. It just needs to start with one spark.
It'll be second down as we open the final stanza. Wilson to pass. Moving out of the pocket. He'll pull it down. Got it into the red zone. Dragged down at the 18-yard line.
And because of the success that this quarterback has had early in this game running the football, if I'm the coordinator calling plays, I'm dialing up his number more. Design runs, and also telling him on the sidelines, hey, listen, remember, if it's not open, take off. Just go get it yourself. They don't have an answer for you right now, and this is a big key for us to win this game.
So the opportunity with a touchdown here to take a fourth-quarter lead. And the runner is down, and so is a flag.
Illegal offense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. NC State will line up with a first and goal. Might be calling a hot route. He's looking to throw. Moves away as he feels pressure. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in.
I think he did a really good job, first of all, keeping his eyes downfield. You could see he wanted to throw the football. But when it's not there, don't force it, tuck it down, get some positive yards.
It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Past the 50. They finally get him down, but a huge return. Not only do they get the ball back, but man, did they set up some field position. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. situation, but man, what great field position this time.
I mean, this is awesome.
Breaks away on the left. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Washington.
You know, good teams just know how to close games out. And you're seeing that right now with this team, right? The defense just had a massive takeaway. The offense able to capitalize on that with a touchdown, so they padded their lead. And this just speaks to, I think, the experience in the locker room and also the playmakers they have. This game is starting to feel like a blowout.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. North Carolina State has it back in the offense, headed to the field. They're in a precarious spot here, that lofty perch in the rankings, hanging in the balance unless they can do something to save themselves here. Wilson will throw. Floating away. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And that's why you always want to be pursuing the football. QB's scrambling, he rolls out to the right, but don't quit if you're on defense. Get somebody after the QB. They got to him, they hit him, and forced the incompletion.
He'll try it again on 2nd and 10. Lets it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on 2nd down, but 3rd down's coming up.
One of the biggest reasons today why this offense is losing in the game is they haven't been able to get it going throwing the football. This guy still has not thrown a touchdown pass. They thought coming into this game they were going to have tons of success throwing it, but you got to give the defense credit. They watched the film. They've been mixing up their looks defensively.
What a catch along the right sideline as he makes a huge play. And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. And the play will stand after the replay booth just does a little double checking to make sure. NC State at the line with a 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. Here's the pressure. Oh, and he got drilled as he just got rid of the football.
Yeah, and your first job is to affect the quarterback and try to get him off his spot. They get him off his spot, he gets outside the pocket, and a nice job chasing, not quitting, getting to the quarterback, and still getting a good lick as he's throwing the football.
Nothing doing downfield. He'll cut his losses and throw it away. It'll be 3rd down.
Know the situation, know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there, I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. We go on to the next down. No harm, no foul.
North Carolina State defining efficiency on this drive. Wilson to pass. Snagged in the middle. It's Jones. They make the stop. Not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the 1st down. Off play action. Here comes the heat. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
The quarterback's accuracy goes way down when you start to get him on the move. And you want to make it go way down even further? Pop that sucker. Nice job making him move, scramble out to his left, and then getting a good clean stick on him. That's 2 things he has to think about on one play.
NC State going up tempo. Wants to throw it. Looking to get it in. Touchdown, Wolfpack! The offense puts up 6 for that trip to the end zone. Well, how about that? And after that touchdown, we might have a finish after all, Jesse.
I love it, Reese, and this team is not quitting. Yeah, they're down on the scoreboard right now, but they are clawing and they are scratching their way back in this game. They're going to keep going hard until this clock reads all 0.
Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. They saw what happened on that last scoring drive, and now probably feeling a little bit of heat to answer. Runs for the tackle. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And I think if you're the head coach, defensively now, obviously, you've got 3 timeouts in your back pocket. You're trailing at this point, and the offense is going to be running the football, trying to bleed the clock. They're going to take as much time off the game clock as they can before snapping it. You've got to start thinking about using some of those timeouts.
Finds the tight end. Got room at the 35. And he's brought down at the 40-yard line, and that'll be a first down. This offense is like running a perfection drill in practice against air. Chunk play after chunk play, and here they come again. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. They'll keep it on the ground to keep this clock moving. Oh, he's got some space. And he picks up a huge chunk of yards on that play before he's finally hauled down. We'll head to the 2-minute timeout. Tight ball game here, and this offense will try to milk the clock. They've moved to the 16. It's 1st and 10. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Blasted as he lets it go. Touchdown, Huskies! They punctuate the chance with a trip to the end zone.
And, you know, late in the games, offenses sometimes get conservative when they got the lead and they got the ball. I love this offense. They were aggressive. They got another score added to the lead. Now you're trying to salt this game away.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? On the run from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. Wilson will throw. Fires to the big fella. He gets it up across the 20 to the 22 before he's pushed out of bounds. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Steps away to find some room. He wants a big play here late. He holds it in, and nobody's close. And that tackle almost certainly saved a touchdown after he ripped off a huge gain. Offense rushing to the line of scrimmage. Clock is stopped for the 1st down. They'll try to get it off quickly. Wants to go up top on 1st down. And it's incomplete, but the penalty flag has fallen in the holding zone. Let's see what the call is. We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. First thing you want to do if you're in a hole is stop digging. It's 1st and 20. Throws to the back. Catch in the middle. It's Scott. Hard-hitting tackle. Trying to get everybody set with the clock still running. 2nd down, he'll throw it. Bringing the heat. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the mistiming.
Well, they're not able to hook up on that throw, but they need to score now. This juncture of the game, this late in the game, they need a touchdown. They need an onside.
And that is interception number 3 on the day.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Boy, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.
You got to believe they just want to run it, take care of the football, and keep that clock moving on 2nd and 9. Going with the ground game left. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Well, this running back has had a pretty good day so far in this game, and I think the key right now is for the defense to find a way to slow him down. He had a good run 2 plays ago. The defense gets the TFL on this one. I think you got to change up your fronts defensively and try to give this offensive line different alignment looks to see if they can confuse him.